The absolute most broken cantrips that you can use. I'm going to go over them. I've experienced them. You out there are probably using them to make people like me absolutely miserable. Oh, and then if like the enemy has them, you're like, oh, why are they doing that? That's the thing that we have. That's you. That's how you talk. Let's go talk about the busted cantrips. Let's go. You know it. You love it. DMs like myself hate it. Silvery Barbs. And if you don't know this, it's probably banned from your table and your DM doesn't even tell you about it. I don't let people use it on my table because it's so ridiculous. Here you go. The cast time is 1 action, and as long as a creature within 60 feet of you, you basically get to force them to re-roll a spell. So not only do you get counterspell, you get this. This is better than counterspell. It just is, and it's simpler, but it's not balanced. It's just, it ruins everything. It's terrible. For the few people out there who I know are going to be like, oh, this is completely balanced. It's not. There's no way you can look at this spell truly and say it, unless you're the people abusing this, which obviously you are. And those are probably like Adventure Leagues players who are like, don't take this spell away from me because it's basically cheating, right? You're a cheater. Terrible. It should never exist. That whole book Strixhaven, by the way, is garbage. Yeah, garbage. Hot. The juice of the trash. Garbage. Now I'm going to move over to the Wild Mountain book, which actually is really cool. I like the world. I've read through it. I actually haven't played in the world, but there's a lot of cool spells and new classes and so on and so forth. But let's pull that break real quick. There's a cantrip in here that I don't understand why it's in here. It's ridiculous. I don't think it's fair. I just completely broken. Sapping Sting. Read it. Let's go. The target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d4 necrotic damage and fall prone. Is that you, Battle Master? Yeah, you know how you could knock people prone? Ha ha! I got this spell now, sucker! Like, this spell is so strong and it's completely busted. If you get to use it, which I actually haven't seen any of my personal players ever take this spell. They could. It's not banned from my table. I don't think it's too bad because at higher levels, a con save, it's meh, right? But just the fact that at low levels, you could just dish this out. Hey, you have disadvantage now. You're prone. I get advantage from all my other people. I also want to put out there, a lot of people forget, if you are prone and you get shot by arrows, the person shooting the arrow has disadvantage. Just want to throw that out there. But I think this is a busted spell, and if it's not banned, you should absolutely use it. So you like using real world math equations and common sense, and you truly think outside the box, and you are the most creative Swiss Army knife player ever to be alive. I have a cantrip for you that is lethal at all levels. It's fantastic utility. This cantrip, Shape Water, is mind-blowingly good. Let's understand the spell at the base level first before I talk about all the wild combos you get to do. This is a cantrip, like I said, it's 1 action. The range is 30 feet and you can make a 5-foot cube of water. You can do 4 things: freeze the water, move the water 5 feet in any direction, make simple shapes and animations, and then you can also change the color. You can have no more than 2 of its non-instantaneous effects active at a time. Now, the beginning of this lethal combo is you shape water as a cantrip, and then you quicken spell to harden into ice. And then we're going to break down some math. I'm just going to tell you the math equation. It's over 200 pounds of ice. Now, let's just say the other teammates are able to do this as well, and you have some poor creature over yonder, and you just drop all this ice on top of that person. I don't know how you would roll the damage. It would be a dex save to hopefully get out of the way, but an entire 5-foot cube of ice to get out of the way? I mean, that's a decent DC, I would believe. I would say DC 12. And then to do damage of over 200 pounds of ice, I don't know. Honestly, I mean, I think it'd be cool. We just roll like, hey man, let's roll, I don't know, 10d10 and just see what happens. As a cantrip, I mean, I would like to know how other people would do the damage just so I could see. I've never had this happen, but I'm sure my players will eventually do this. And this is just one application. The list of other creative ways is vast here. You can shape water into a ladder. You can freeze the ground so people slip. You can technically make cover. That's freaking awesome, right? You can freeze locks to break them because, you know, water expands. And that's when people like really dig down into like the science and real life applications of water. And those people who understand stuff or look at videos like this to use them are just this Swiss Army knife of just being so clever at the table. And even me, I've seen people do some things and I'm like, I never would have thought of that. And I will absolutely let you do, because I also as a DM want to see what's going to happen. So those are just a few things to think about. And you can never forget about the players who tie people up and then cast this cantrip to waterboard people to get information. Yes, you are committing war crimes. You are a terrible party. But will you get your information? Absolutely. At any cost, I might add. If you're looking for maps to truly expand the way you play, or maybe custom tokens to change up the way monsters look, because it gets pretty boring looking at the same tokens all the time. Or maybe you want token frames to make your characters really stand out. I have all that on Patreon and I update that every month. I work for you, so support me to make better stuff for you.